We've got to move on to the Hur audio, which ironically dropped 24 hours before Joe Biden told us he had aggressive cancer. Let's take a look at some of the Hur audio and then discuss.
What was happening, though, 1 month ago died, May 30th, 2015. Was it 2015 he died?
Maybe 2015.
I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So, why do I have 2017 here?
That's when you left office, January of 2017.
Okay. But that's when Trump gets sworn in, then,
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay, yeah. Correct. And in 2017, Bo had passed, and this is personal.
This man was allegedly in charge of the nuclear codes. Now, we all know this conspiracy of silence, his circle of advisors, these swamp creatures were probably calling the shots because there was very credible reporting. He was basically asleep. He worked between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. if you were lucky. But the fact that he really doesn't know what year it is, he doesn't know what year the election happened, and he's been in public life for 50 years. The election happens every 4 years, 2016, 2020, 2024. It's been that way since the dawn of time, Joe Biden. So the fact that he doesn't know what year it is, and he's supposed to be sitting behind the Resolute desk, calling the shots, the leader of the free world, and we're not supposed to talk about any of this, Harry Sisson and the Democrat influencers say we're jerks for even bringing all of this up. No. To use Biden's own word, that is a bunch of malarkey. We have another clip. Let's listen to that one.
Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was, and by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president.
Shame on Jill Biden, Hunter Biden, Ashley Biden, the entire family. You knew this man wasn't well, okay? If this audio hadn't come out, we would have just had the transcripts. But even from the transcripts that came out last year, we knew something wasn't okay. Something was rotten in Denmark. Something was awry with Joe Biden. But Jill, she continued to push and push and push because she didn't want to go back to the private sector. Jill doesn't want to go be a normal citizen like the rest of us. She doesn't want to have to go buy her own groceries, fill up her own car. In fact, she might still not have to do any of that. But Jill, she wanted to retain power. She didn't care if her husband was sick with cancer and dying, if it had metastasized. She didn't care if he knew what date it was. That is who the Bidens are. They are hungry for fame, fortune, and power. Now, we have one last clip of Jill Biden, which shows you exactly how much she was in control. Let's take a look.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why? Yes.
This is ostensibly who was in charge the last 4 years, Joe Biden. We saw her running cabinet meetings, sitting behind the president's desk on Air Force One. Here she is grabbing the microphone after that horrific debate that we all saw, and she's still trying to jam him through. You did so good, Joe. You answered all the questions. That's where the bar is? He's been in public life for 5 decades, and all he has to do is answer all the questions? Hello, I think you and I could be president. So, Jill, you're disgusting. Hunter, you're disgusting. If you love this man, if you love Joe and he was really sick, you would go take him to be in private. You wouldn't be putting him on The View. You wouldn't be putting him on national TV. You wouldn't have tried to run him.